We begin in Tallahassee, Florida. It's the site of yet another school shooting, this time at Florida State University. 2 people are dead, 6 hurt, and police have taken a suspect into custody. Now, investigators say the suspected shooter is a 20-year-old student at the school, and he's the stepson of a sheriff's deputy who got his hands on his stepmother's former service weapon. Students told reporters they're horrified that gun violence reached their school, which is meant to be a safe space.
This is not how it should be at all. It's tragic, is what it is. It's genuinely like a disgusting feeling.
We've got team coverage on this for you this morning, starting with CBS News reporter Kati Weis. She's been on the scene since shortly after the incidents. Kati, good morning. Still early in this investigation, obviously, but how did this unfold yesterday?
Well, good morning, Errol. The community here in Tallahassee, Florida's capital city, is truly just shaken this morning and yesterday afternoon as well. Several neighbors that I spoke to who live in the same neighborhood of the alleged gunman in this incident are just totally shocked, surprised that someone that they know could potentially carry out such an act. In fact, I even spoke with one young woman who said she grew up going on the bus with this suspect every day in middle and high school. Let's take a listen to what she had to say.
I went to middle school and high school with him, and I rode the bus home with him. So I've known him for a while. I was in shock. I was like, I know this kid. Like, I've grown up with this kid. He lives in my neighborhood. I was like, how could someone I know do something like this?
And now, Errol, you also mentioned about how this alleged gunman used his stepmother's service weapon to carry out this attack, according to officials. One of the big questions on many people's minds is how did he get access to this gun, and why did he have access to this gun, Errol?
And Kati, what are we learning about the victims so far?
Well, so far, we're still trying to get more information about the 2 people who were killed. Police have not yet released their names, but we do know that they were not students here on campus. So still trying to get more information there. But we know that the wounded are still being treated at a local hospital here in Tallahassee. But fortunately, we know as of yesterday afternoon, everyone is still in fair condition. So good news there.
Yeah, and as we see, the school has canceled classes following all of this. Kati Weis, we appreciate that update. Thank you so much. For more on all of this, we want to speak now with retired FBI Special Agent and Behavioral Profiler Mary Ellen O'Toole. She is the Director of Forensic Science Program at George Mason University. Good morning to you. We appreciate you being with us. Obviously, this just happened late yesterday, but what early details are standing out to you if you are profiling and investigating this case?
Well, thank you for having me. And there are a couple of things that continue even after 25 years of Columbine, and the anniversary is coming up this week, which makes April a tenuous month for these kinds of cases. We still tend to think about these shooters as physically looking different than we are. And I think the last young lady put it very well. She said, how could somebody I know do something like this? So physically, these people do not stand out. There's nothing about them that would reek of, I intend to go into a campus and start shooting. But we do tell people, look for warning behaviors. And sometimes these behaviors can be subtle. And as they get closer to the date of the shooting, they can certainly be more pronounced. But these warning behaviors are honestly the only thing that allow law enforcement to intercede before the event occurs. And my sense is that as they go in and they are looking for information about the shooter's background, they're going to find a keen interest in other shootings. We see that in other cases. And one of the shootings that he very likely was interested in would be the Columbine High School shooting.
And Mary, it's a reason why we in the media now try not to name the suspect, or even when they're convicted, for fear of copycat killers. What will investigators try to find out about him? Because he may not be giving accurate information in interrogation or investigations interviews right now.
Well, that's right. And I know your policy, the media's policy is to not give the name out. But nowadays, to be quite honest with you, that doesn't matter because people that are aspiring to become shooters will go on and they'll find out the names of other shooters. But what the FBI and law enforcement will be looking for is in his social media. They'll go through the computers and the phones, and they'll see where he's been spending his time looking through other shootings. That's almost an absolute that he will have studied other shooters. And which shooters did he study? Also, though, they will be looking to see, did he communicate with anyone? Did anyone else know about this shooting beforehand? Did he share his plans with anybody? So the one thing that really stunned me about Columbine, and that was a watershed event for us, that these events were things that the shooter actually enjoyed planning for, and they even enjoyed carrying it out even more. So talking about the shooting and his plans with somebody ahead of time is probably in his background because he was excited thinking about what he was going to do.
It is just chilling to hear you lay that out, but that certainly is the state of affairs. Mary Ellen O'Toole, thanks for joining us this morning. We want to bring in now CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand. She is at the White House tracking the response to this. Natalie, we all and people around the world say, why does this keep happening in the U.S.? How is the White House responding?
Yeah, Errol, President Trump was briefed on the shooting right after it happened. Speaking to reporters before cameras yesterday, he called it terrible and a shame. But he was asked by reporters whether he's looking at stricter gun laws in light of this latest incident. Take a listen.
I'm a big advocate of the Second Amendment. I have been from the beginning. I protected it. And these things are terrible. But the gun doesn't do the shooting. The people do.
Now, back in February, President Trump signed an executive order directing his attorney general to look at some of the stricter gun regulations imposed by the Biden administration. You may remember, though, during his first administration, responding to that terrible massacre in Las Vegas in 2017 that killed 60 people, President Trump did move to enact a ban on bump stocks, but that, Errol, was struck down by the Supreme Court.